Dear senior leaders and friends, in CXO Transitions, I talk to top leaders on their career transitions and the challenges they faced and how they overcame them and what might be the lessons for all of us. I focus on reflections on their journeys and the lessons these hold for other ambitious leaders. As a CXO coach, I often work with senior leaders before, during, and after their career transitions, and I partner with them to see them through to a successful transition. Today, I'm in conversation with Bhawna Bhatnagar, co-founder of We Founder Circle. Bhawna is an angel investor herself. I am terribly impressed by the kind of rich and unconventional journey that Bhawna has been through. There have been some amazing transitions in her education and career. Briefly, to talk about her education, she's got a degree in biochemistry and journalism, a master's degree in East Asian Studies from Delhi University, a postgraduate degree in Chinese language and literature from Beijing Language and Culture University. In today's conversation on CXO transitions, we will discuss about some of our career transitions and learnings from those. Good morning, Bhawna. Thanks for participating in this dialogue on CXO career transitions.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Welcome to this dialogue. So, Bhawna, let me start off by asking you. You had a very interesting education and early career experiences. So, can you explain to our viewers how these diverse experiences in your education have helped in your career later on?
Thanks, Ramesh, for having me, first of all. Yeah, and about my career transition, it's been a very interesting journey for me as well when I reflect on it. From biochem to journalism was my first transition, which is very unconventional, and I got a lot of questions over that. And from there, I moved to East Asia and then Chinese language. Then I worked in product companies, and now I'm here as an investor. I think a lot of these transitions just when you think of the subject matter wouldn't make a lot of sense, but I think if someone was in my shoes and would be looking at what it is to be in that position, it made all the sense to me. I took biochem. I thought that I'm going to be a science student coming from science pedigree at school. My family had a lot of engineers and scientists. I thought that's where I would be. I did science. I realized that biochem requires you to be in the lab for a very long period of time. And I realized that I'm a social person. I made a conscious decision to go towards writing and journalism because I was very good at current affairs. I was very fond of reading books, fiction, non-fiction, plus newspapers. So I was always very, very updated. I just used to pick up on my own likes and dislikes and make decisions based on that. I did seek a lot of outside help as well. For example, you are a coach, you talk to a lot of CXOs about, how to go about and take the next few steps in their careers. East Asia also and language also happened in a similar way. In my job as a journalist, I used to cover a lot of international relations, and I loved covering, what was happening in the political landscape outside of India, who is relevant, who is not relevant. All of this attracted me to the subject and to, Delhi University. The department used to cover it really well. I took some references. I did my background check about the department, and everything seemed good. I just took leap of faith. How I ended up in China, that was another interesting story. That when I was a student in Delhi University studying East Asia, luckily I got 2 scholarships to go to China and do research on India-China-US relations. That again was an eye-opening experience for me. It expanded my horizons in multiple ways in which I met people from different backgrounds that I never thought I would, meeting diplomats, business leaders, journalists on international level, working with students who were from different universities from US and from China. I think all of that sort of led me to think that this is probably what I should be doing. And hence I got my second scholarship to study Chinese in Beijing by UNESCO. after learning the language, I was very keen to absorb more of Chinese culture and stay back and, see if I could actually get a job there. And luckily I did. I started working for Chinese tech companies like Cheetah Mobile and ByteDance in product. And from there on, I think another interesting thing that I did was working with a lot of entrepreneurs and encouraging them to build something new. In Beijing, I used to run an entrepreneur community called Startup Grind. And because of that, I got introduced to the world of Indian startup ecosystem and investor relations, etc.
So let me move on to the next thing. You thereafter joined ByteDance in China as an early member of the India expansion team. So what was this decision based on, and how did you make this transition?
Um, it was not an easy decision. And I'll give you a little bit of context that having, worked in India and then working in China, and Chinese companies have a very different culture. So I didn't fit in naturally. I had a whole transition that I had to do in terms of learning the language, learning the mannerisms, learning the way Chinese work. And after Cheetah Mobile, I was frankly not looking to work in another Chinese company. And I was looking out for jobs. So, to see if I could, move to some other company. Luckily, ByteDance approached me during that time. And I thought, okay, it could be something interesting. I knew of them as a Chinese company because they were not known as ByteDance in China. They were known as Toutiao. So I went to interview them, and I think the company culture is what hooked me, considering that this company has people from across the globe who are working there, across the globe, as in the Chinese who were working there had studied outside of China. So they were sort of more global Chinese, I would say. And that was very interesting to me. I also like that the team knew what they were doing and they were very keen on exploring India as a market. And they wanted someone of my experience. I think it's just my initial interaction with them that gave me the confidence that this is something that I could explore. And again, like I said,
So,
the transition was not the easiest, but I liked the people I was working with.
so what made the transition? You said it was not the easiest transition. So what made it difficult?
It's difficult because, see, Chinese work a lot, right? And the expectation, and I'm just saying from point of view of the working hours, right? Also, as a foreigner in a Chinese company, the expectations are very high from you. So you're not just any regular employee, you're a foreigner, right? Who's brought in for a specialized function. So they expect you to, be part of everything. So when I started, I was actually part of a lot of projects that were directed towards the Indian market. From from day one, like any research work related to Indian products, Indian video products, Indian utility products that were there in the market. All of that I had to be present plus give an opinion. So a lot of groundwork I had to do from day one. Plus, I think something that a lot of people sometimes discount is the company culture. Again and again, I'll just point that out. For example, in India, it could be more flexible to work, that you can, tell people, okay, I'll probably come 1 hour late or etc. ByteDance was very, very particular about the timings, how long are you supposed to stay. Then I think there were other cultural factors, like, you cannot go out of the office before your boss. Like, you have to sort of have a certain decorum with the senior management, right? What can you say? What groups could you be part of? How often do you participate in the office activities, etc. Like stuff like this, I had to learn.
Great, Bhavna. Thanks so much for sharing the specifics of your early transitions and learnings from those. Dear viewers, this is the end of part one of my conversation with Bhavna Bhatnagar, who is the co-founder of VFounder. They're into the business of investing in early stage startups. Do tune in to the second part of our conversation in a few days. Thank you. If you like this video, do like, share, and subscribe to my channel to help me reach out to the right audience. Thank you.